Hey, Snap fans, welcome to Snap Take for 3/21/23. Today is my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Noah. He's turning 7. So, for his 7th birthday, we're going to look at 7 cards that I'd like to see buffed to shake up the meta. These buffs would hopefully help nerfs not be the only way to change up the game. And in addition, we have a patch coming out later on today. So, these are the kinds of changes I would like to see. Just to switch things up, we're going to work from top to bottom. Namor has been an extremely hard card to balance. At 4/6, he's actually one of the more powerful fours. That's the ongoing rate for fours. And with that +5, a 4/11 is way above rate. 4/10 is generally the top thing you can get. 4/11 is better. So I think you actually knock him down 1 power to a 4/5 with a +5. Instead of if this is your only card here, say if you only have ongoing cards here, make him an ongoing synergy card. Ongoing has sort of left the meta, and Namor as a 4/10, if you only play ongoings in his lane, seems both powerful and interesting. I can even deal with him going down to a 4/9 at that point. But I think that combination of plays, if if there are only ongoing cards in this lane, is a nice way to symbolize that he's a king, not entirely a loner. Next up, we have Strong Guy. He's currently a 4/4 ongoing if your hand is empty, +6 power. I like that ability a lot. I think I'd add one more thing to get him played in these discard decks. That would be on the last turn, discard a card at random from your hand. This has two benefits. One, it makes him a really powerful card, right? He's now one of the better fours in the game. He's giving discard a big pump, and discard could really use that pump, particularly stuff like Modoc Apocalypse decks. But further, he has a little bit of tension with Dracula. Dracula is the auto include in these decks at this point. Adding that tension with Dracula lets you have some extra decisions over what order you play cards in, and so on. Crystal is a 4/4 on reveal. If this is in the middle location, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 3 cards. We thought this would be good with Zabu. It's not even good with Zabu. It's got to be a 3/4. I think the simplest solution is make this a 3/4, give you that draw earlier. Another solution would be to just up the draw by 1. If she's drawing 4 cards, and preferably played into either the left or the right, so you're not auto screwing yourself. If there's a bad center location, this way you have 2 options. I think she would start to see some play. She'd at least be worthy of experimentation. One more thing you can do with her, and I don't think they're gonna want to do this, is you keep the ability the same, but you make her something like a 4/1 or a 4/2, and then she's one of Mister Negative's best friends. We've got Punisher. Punisher to me is one of the 2 hardest. Punisher is an iconic character. So I think Punisher would be better as a 3/0 who got +2 for each opposing card at this location. This way he can get up to a 3/8, one of the best threes in the game. But to do so, you've got to hope your opponent's playing a Swarm Depth that you can play him in the right location. And then he's a really good last turn play. I think Punisher this way is okay. I think he probably deserves more play. He's actually pretty good in a Valkyrie deck right now. The other thing you can do is you can just make him a 2/2, and I think that would also be perfectly acceptable, even a 2/1. But again, this is a fairly iconic character. I don't hate the exact same ability as a 2/2 either. Medusa is simple enough. You can either give her +1 power when she's in the middle location, making her a 2/5. Again, this is equivalent to Lizard, the strongest 2 in the game right now, or the most commonly played 2 in the game, or at least arguably. So that ability for Medusa has all sorts of value. Or you can keep the ability exactly the same and let her be played on the right or the left, not the middle. I know why she's supposed to be in the center of Inhuman storylines, and that's why it's an in the middle location. But the in the middle location that she and Crystal share, I mean, it doesn't really even synergize with the other Inhumans. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'm not sure why it's there. Just let her be played in the left or right and go from there. Everyone knows the Watu the Watcher change. Make him an if he's in your deck ability. If he's in your deck at all, you can see all the locations at the start of the game, not just when you draw him. Drawing him after turn 3 means he's just an absolutely terrible body, and making his ability powerful enough that you can just see the locations at the start of the game seems extremely good. He might even see play in some Scarlet Witch or Thanos decks that often want to use their ability early at that point. I think Uatu is worth considering. And lastly, we have the hardest card to fix. Hawkeye as a 1/1. If you play a card here next turn, gets +2 power. This sees a little bit of play in Cerebro decks, but even then it's really rare. This card is hard to pull off. It's predictable. If you play it on 1 and you don't automatically have a play on 2, it's really bad. If you draw it late, it's really bad. I'd like to see this just get a redesign. And I don't think people are going to like the redesign I want. But if ever there was a card that should just be vanilla, this should fundamentally be Cyclops. I would make Hawkeye the 3/4 vanilla card, and I would give Cyclops a new leadership style ability. All right, those are the buffs I'd like to see in Marvel Snap. I think that they would make the meta more interesting. They would at least make these cards see more play. Like and sub. Stay tuned soon for an episode of Snap Judgments podcast. Check out SnapFan, the best Marvel Snap aggregating site, and we'll see all of you tomorrow for another Snap Take.